welcome. So thanks for joining me today. We're going to begin in a seated position. So if you have any height at all, so in form of a bolster, a block, brick, absolutely anything, then feel free to put it underneath the hips. So it's going to help lift up the chest a little bit more. You might feel a little bit more even into both of the hips to help lift up through the top of the head, through the whole back. Nice big inhale, we're going to raise the chest space open a little bit more. Big exhale, shoulders away from ears. And then start to feel a little bit of weight through the elbows as well. So we're feeling nice and tall through the top of the head, even through both of the hips as well. And then we can start to just deepen the breath slightly. Look for that nice big inhale, nice big exhale, and then a nice big inhale. This time you're going to raise the arms as you inhale. And then take that exhale, release right hand down to the side of the mat. We'll take a little side bend, so coming over as far as you want to. You're keeping that chest and hip nice and open. And then gently inhale, raise the hands up high. Swap to the other side, left hand to the mat, sorry. Just keep reaching with that right arm up above the head. Nice big space between shoulder and ear. Heavy through the right hip, right knee. And then gently inhale, reach, reach, reach. And then exhale, release. We'll swap across the legs, so you can tap the hands up while you do that, or you might have them to support. We'll do exactly the same thing again, so nice and heavy through the hips, big inhale, right hand comes down to right side of the mat. And then just reaching over as far as you want to stretch through that left side body. Nice big inhale, and then big exhale, work onto the other side. So find that length, stay nice and heavy through the right hip, the right knee. Keep the length going through the side body on the right hand side. Awesome, awesome. We'll slowly inhale, reach as high as you like. And then big exhale. Take the hands down either side of you so you can keep the height. You might lose the height entirely up to you. We're going to extend both the legs long or forwards. So you've got more of a dandasana or a staff pose. Just for a few moments, really press through those heels, draw those toes up towards you. Big inhale, take the hands up high just for a couple of moments. Just find the length through the side body. So think about the length that we built when we were just in our side bends. Reach, 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 reach. Big inhale, and then a nice big exhale. We'll take one more. Nice and tall through the top of the head. Feel the side body get nice and long, and then exhale, release the hands down. We'll take the hands back behind you just to support for a couple of moments. And then we're going to bend this right leg up towards you. So you can take the right foot towards the left knee. This is our stage one. If you want a little bit more, then you're going to take the right foot just across the top of that left knee. So we might stay here, so hugging gently into that right knee, sorry. So just gently pulling in. We can keep the left toes flexed, pressed through the left hamstring. If that's absolutely fine, then we're going to bend this left leg round, so the left foot comes round to the right hip. And then maybe draw that up a little bit tighter. So suddenly we've got a bit more space into the chest. We feel nice and even into the hips, left hip and right hip. Taking a little bit of effort into that right knee. Great. And then nice and slow, what we can also do is just go a little bit further, maybe into your full cow face. You're going to start to stack these knees on top of each other. So right knee's over the top of left knee. Got this evenness into the hips. Again, the height is optional. So usually it's a little bit easier if you've got that height. You can take that away and try and go down onto the ground nice and slowly if it feels like the hips are nice and open. But this is our kind of cow face pose, or the bottom half of cow face. Just breathing nice and evenly into both of the hips. See how that feels. At any point as well, you might find that you want to come to one of the previous options that was a little bit more comfortable, maybe just slowly drawing that right knee up towards you. Opening up into both the hips, great. And then we'll slowly inhale. We're going to take the arms up tall. And then we're going to take left arm down the back, right hand's going to come onto that left elbow and just gently work the left hand down the back as far as it wants to go. But at the same time, you're keeping this left chest nice and open. So we're not closing down, the back's long and tall through the head. You're almost trying to line this left elbow as best you can behind the head. So in some ways, I might even create a little line with the right knee, but take it as far as it's comfortable. We're opening up into that shoulder. And then if that's all fine, you're going to take this right arm and then just bring that up the back to help meet towards the left hand. So it might be that the fingers and hands are both really far away from each other. Absolutely fine. You're just stretching into that chest. You could find that the fingers gently interlace. Maybe both the hands meet. Really pressing out the way through the chest, trying to draw the top of the head to be nice and tall. Great. Big inhale, big exhale. Nice and slowly. Breathing into the chest through both the hips. Notice how the body feels. On that next big exhale, we'll slowly release the bottom hand. We'll take that back to the left hand. Just stretch a little bit gently through that shoulder. Then we'll raise the arms up high. Reach. Re-hug that right knee in towards you. We're going to start to straighten the left leg back out long. Maybe the hands come back behind to make that happen. Uncross the legs, press through the heels. Again, feel the length through both your hamstrings. See what impact that's had into the hips. Nice big inhale. Maybe the hands back behind you. They might be down either side. You can reach back into this Dandasana start pose again. Big inhale, big exhale. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. And then another big inhale. And then a big exhale. We'll draw the hands back behind you. We're going to come to the other side. So left knee comes up. So we're taking that left foot up towards the right knee. The right foot straightened out. Have a little play around, see how comfortable that is. Then you're going to take left foot just over the other side of that right knee. Maybe give a little hug into your left knee as well. And then stretching a tiny bit through the hamstring. Just make sure everything's nice and comfortable. If that's fine, then we're going to bend this right leg round and then start to hug a little bit more into the left knee. Gently work that up in towards the chest. Keep the height through the top of the head. Start to work into that left side of the hip, and then right side will sometimes be stretching as well. Just depends how tight you are in the hips. If that's all fine, then you're going to swing round, stack the knees on top of each other. Again, height entirely optional. And then just keeping a little lift of the chest. It's going to work quite deeply into the hips. Big inhale, big exhale. Great. So give yourself a couple of minutes just to double check how the hips are feeling, how do the feet, the knees, chest. Whenever you like, you might start to raise the arms on the next inhale. Big exhale, release the shoulders back down. Again, you're always welcome to move that left knee back up as well. If it felt like it was just more comfortable in the pose, so if it feels really strained and tense, you're just going to work a little bit backwards. Work it a little bit back. Slowly inhale. Big exhale. We're taking the right arm down the back this time. So you're going to bring the left hand onto the right elbow and just gently work that nice and slow. So we're looking for the gentle release of this right shoulder. See how comfortable that is. Breathing into the shoulder. We're keeping the chest open. We're trying to keep the top of the head as tall as possible. Avoiding that temptation to kind of close down and round with the back. Keeping nice and long, nice and tall. Big inhale, big exhale. We're going to take the left hand, just take that up the back. So round the other way. Maybe the hands meet, maybe they don't. Maybe we're just playing around and drawing the hands together as much as possible. You could bring the fingers to interlace if they reach. That might even be more towards the palms. Just looking for that nice, comfortable point at which you can stretch, especially into the top right shoulder. Nice deep breathing, especially into those hips. Great, so slowly inhaling. Nice big exhale. And then we'll release that again. So we're going to take the left arm back up onto right elbow. Give it a little wiggle, just see that that is nice and comfortable into the right shoulder. And then slowly, slowly, we're going to raise the arms. Take a big exhale, bring the hands back down. We're going to uncross the left foot slightly. We'll raise it up, or the left knee. You'll straighten out with the right foot, uncross the legs, straighten both the feet out. Just see how the hips feel now, hopefully a little bit more open. Really pressing through the heels, drawing the toes up towards you, finding that length into your Dandasana again. Maybe the hands are reaching upwards. Nice big inhale, and then big exhale. We're going to take a really small little seated forward fold, so you might have your height come into play again. If you come up a little bit higher, just kind of working as far forwards as you want to. So it doesn't have to be particularly far, especially if the lower back's feeling a bit sore, if the hamstrings are tight. Just taking it as far forwards as you want to, that you can get that sense at the top of the head just releasing slightly, but the lower back is nice and comfortable. Breathe nice and deep. See if those hamstrings can release a fraction. Great. We'll slowly walk ourselves back up. We're going to come up to put the legs to one side. We're going to pop the block or any height over to one side as well. Great, and then we'll come through to a quick all fours. Just gently pressing through the hands, tops of the feet have a little bit of effort. We'll come through to some gentle cat-cows. So just exhaling, rolling through the back, and then nice and slow, inhaling as you raise up into your cow. Slowly exhale to release. And then inhale. Nice slow cow. So taking it as slowly as possible, just imagining each of those vertebrae moving nice and gently. You've got your knuckles nice and flat. We're rooted through the hands, through the tops of the feet. Big toe and little toe, both the knees nice and even. Just moving as slowly and smoothly as possible. Great, and then as slowly as you like, we'll come back to a neutral position. We're going to flip onto our back, so find your way down. Take the knees up tall, roll the shoulders back and down, just look for a nice openness into the chest. And then we'll take the soles of the feet together, knees as wide as you like, so Supta Baddha Konasana, or the reclined bound angle. Look for that nice heaviness into the knees. Tuck the shoulder blades down the back, so we've got this open chest. You might have the hands on hips, you can even make little fists and kind of prop up the legs if it's a little bit uncomfortable, it feels a bit too much of a strain into the insides of the legs. Otherwise, just slowly exhaling, looking for the gentle release of those knees towards the ground. We're never forcing, there's no sense of weight or effort into the knees to get them to release. We're just breathing, letting them gently release in their own time towards the ground. On that inhale, just find a bit more length through the top of the head. You might tuck the chin slightly again to make sure the back of the neck's nice and long. And then after that inhale, a nice long exhale. Great, so we might leave the hands where they are, if they feel nice and released. If you want to go a little tiny bit further, you can take both the hands, bring them back behind the head, kind of interlace the fingers behind the head, and then feel heavy with the elbows as well. Just stretches the front side of the chest into the arms as well. You're looking for just a little sense of heaviness into the elbows, along with those knees. Really focusing on the release, both of them down towards the ground. Just on each exhale, it feels like they get a little bit heavier. Great, so slowly breathing. Just give yourself 2-3 final breaths. Great. So we'll slowly release behind the head first. You're going to bring the hands to the outside of the knees or the thighs. Slowly start to work the knees back together. Walk the knees a little bit closer towards you. We're going to take the sole of the right foot onto the left thigh. Keep the toes nice and flexed. Once you've got a little comfortable position, we're going to take this right sole, just plant that over towards the left-hand side, swing that across the body. Right arm stays nice and planted on the ground. Right shoulder blade planted as well, so we've got arms open. And so like a little reclined pigeon twist. So looking for a little bit of effort of that right knee working away from you. Really subtle, small stretch into the outside of the right hip here. Breathing nice and deep. And then we'll gently inhale. Start to swing that right knee back round. Uncross the legs. We'll go to the other side, so sole of the left foot comes onto right thigh. Keep the left toes nice and flexed. Wiggle that left knee away from you for a couple of moments in your reclined pigeon. And then we'll take it into the twist. So you're going to swing this left foot across the body onto the right-hand side. Keep nice and rooted through the left shoulder blade, left shoulder and left arm. You might even reach the arm out as far as you can to open into the chest slightly. Otherwise, just slowly breathing into the hip. Gaze can, of course, come to the left-hand side as well. You might just be keeping that up to the ceiling if that's a little bit more comfortable. Great, so keeping that tension on the breath, slowly breathing. See if we can draw out the exhale a little bit longer. Perfect, so we'll slowly take the gaze back through centre. We're going to swing round. We'll release the feet. Just walk the feet a little bit closer so they're underneath the knees. Going to take a little bridge pose as you slowly draw the tailbone up. Take the hips up as well. Press a little bit into the fronts of the feet. And as you keep lifting the hips into your bridge pose, so settee bender. Maybe the hands are rooted down into the mat. They could be nice and loose. If you want to, you're going to take them up above the head and then just reach a little bit higher with those hips. As far as is comfortable, lower back should feel nice and comfortable, so no sense of tension. Big inhale and then big exhale. Slowly roll the spine down onto the mat as you draw the hands back down as well. And then we'll take that again. You're just going to raise the tailbone, bring the hips up again. Leave the hands maybe down. If you want to, you're going to take them up, but if we take them up this time, you're going to start to draw the fingertips a little bit closer towards you. So you're almost planting the hand down on the mat. So fingertips are pointing back towards you. You're keeping those elbows in slightly. See if you can lift up into the hips a little bit more, pressing into the hands slightly as well, but then really making sure that those elbows don't start to splay outwards at all. They're nicely in line with the knees. The feet are underneath the knees as well. And then we're focusing on the breath. As you plant the hands a tiny little bit, we're just going to see if you can put a teeny bit of weight into the hands, but not a lot. So we're still keeping the bulk of the weight into the kind of top part of the back. But just see if you can plant the hands a tiny bit and then release. On your exhale, take the hands back down. Roll nice and slow through the back. And then deepen the breath. We'll start to just draw one foot long, followed by the other foot. Start to deepen the breath a little bit more. Maybe take the palms to face upwards. Have a gentle scan through the body, so from the toes, the feet, each of the legs, through the hips, and then up into the core, the glutes, around the back, down each of the arms. Notice the hands are nice and heavy, the fingers, and then releasing through the neck, the chest, the jaw, tongue, eyes, ears, all the way through the forehead to the crown and top of the head. And then just giving yourself a couple of breaths or so to release. And then really slowly making the next breath a tiny bit deeper. Taking a bit of movement into your hands, into your feet. Starting to awaken the hands as you draw those up above you. Stretch the heels out and away from you. Reach, reach, reach. Take a nice big stretch through the whole body. Have a little think. How do the hips feel? How does the whole body feel as you draw one knee in towards you, followed by the other knee? Just stay here for a couple of moments, just hugging those knees in nice and tight. See how that lower back feels. And then after hugging the knees in towards you, we'll roll to one side. You're going to press into the hands. Come through to a seated position. Back to cross-legged. Roll the shoulders back and down. Bring the lift into the chest again. We'll take the hands into the chest. Biggest, deepest breath of all day. And then that big exhale as well. Namaste. Thanks very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed. And hope again see you again very soon. Thank you.